In angle geometry, we need to be able to work with parallel lines and determine some angles between them. So if I have two lines that are parallel, they'll typically have these little arrowheads on them to indicate the two lines are parallel. What that means is those lines, if we continue them on infinitely long, they'd never meet, never cross. Kind of like a set of railway tracks. Any line that cuts across those parallel lines has a special name. We call it a transversal. And that's one of the words we need to be familiar with. So a line cutting across some parallel lines is a transversal. Now if two lines look like they're parallel, but they don't have these little arrowheads or duck feet symbols, we don't know if they are parallel or not. They might be parallel, or they might not be. Now with our parallel lines, we've got three situations that we're going to look at for three different rules. The first, got a pair of parallel lines in a transversal. Okay, and I'm going to say that these two angles here, A and B, they're alternate angles. They're on alternate sides of the transversal. So alternate angles on parallel lines, they're equal. A and B will be equal to each other. And our shorthand for that, we could write something like alternate angles, parallel lines equal. So that's one. The second one, we'll do it up here. Again, a pair of parallel lines with a transversal. These two angles here, C and D. We say that angle C and angle D are corresponding angles. On parallel lines are equal. C and D are the same as each other and they're equal. So my shorthand, corresponding angles, parallel lines are equal. And the third one, again, pair of parallel lines and a transversal. These two angles here, E and F, we say they're co-interior angles. They're both between the parallel lines and on the same side of the transversal. We say they're co-interior angles on parallel lines. They add to 180 degrees. This angle here, E, plus this angle here, F, adds to 180 degrees. And we can see that E is a corresponding angle to this one down here, and they're on a straight line there. But we can say co-interior angles, parallel lines equals 180 degrees. So key points, transversal, alternate angles, so they're on opposite sides of that transversal and between the parallel lines. So it could be these two, it could also be these two, this one and this one that I'm pointing to now. Corresponding angles on parallel lines, they're also equal. We've got C and D here, but also this one and this one are corresponding angles, or this one and this one corresponding angles, and finally this one and this one. And our co-interior angles on parallel lines, they add to 180 degrees. They're both between the parallel lines, so it's either these two here or these two over here, and they add to 180 degrees.